What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AM. Well, guys, where have I been for a hot minute? Honestly, I've been in deep work. So there are a few things that came up that really actually needed priority and required a pivot in my life and in business. And so I actually had to pause. And the last time I recorded, I believe, was in October. So here I am, December. And so the point of what I'm saying is I had a hard, fast rule of, cool, I'm going to record every day. However, there are stipulations that allowed me to be flexible with what was needed. Cool, I've got to record every day, but what happens if an emergency comes up? And then how do I define that emergency and what does that mean? And then what's going to be required of me? And then how does that work? And it's interesting because I think if you follow discipline so much to a point where they break you or they break the people around you in a negative way, is it worth actually doing? And so it's interesting because just in the journey in general, I'm a firm believer in discipline. I'm a firm believer in being a man of your word and being a man of honor and integrity. And then I'm a firm believer that I am one of the most important persons to keep my word to, not just everybody else. Oftentimes, most people show up to a job because they have somebody else telling them to do it. And then they don't want to lie to that person and they don't want to look bad to that person. So they'll do it, but they won't do it for themselves. And so if they didn't have somebody else telling them to do it, they wouldn't do it. I don't want to be that type of person. I want to be the person who really, when I say I'm going to do something, I'll do it. And going through this last couple months, a large part of why I left was, oh man, the company, the team that Andrew and I are running right now currently needs a huge pivot. And it's going to require a lot more time investment and focus than what I'm actually doing at the moment. And so I need to pause for what is best for the people. And so part of my emergency definition when making the promise to myself was, okay, cool, this is how it's going to work. And then also as I paused, realizing, oh, you know what? This is more important to really make sure that we're taking care of the people that have entrusted us with than just me keeping a promise to myself out of discipline. And so when you are having moments where you've got to actually be flexible with your discipline, when you have to actually be flexible with what you've told yourself you're going to do, you've really got to define them well. And then you also have to weigh out the value. What is more valuable? Is it more valuable for me to record every day? Or is somebody else's life and livelihood and where the company is headed more valuable, right? The potential to change more people. And Andrew and I, we haven't had any major problems or fires, but what has happened is as the market and the industry has changed, it's really required us to change too. And so as he was running stuff and as I was working with him, it just became apparent like, oh, wow, we need to really make a hard pivot into this because this seems really like the future and what's best within the next 10 years. And so there's a huge shift. And in that period of time, there's a huge time investment with deep work, really shutting off. And this wasn't the only thing that I had shut off to really go into that place too with him. And so anyways, it's been a hard run for that. And the purpose why I'm bringing this up is it's really important as you are saying, cool, this is what matters most to me in my life. You're weighing out values appropriately. You're weighing out the value of people's lives appropriately. You're weighing out the value of the impact and the people in your life and around you appropriately. And you're weighing out the impact of what is going to be the chain reaction as I make this decision, right? What is going to be the chain reaction of all the people's lives around me? How are they going to be affected? Why are they going to be affected? And then also just the future in general for yourself and then for your relationships. And the discipline, and if it's about keeping the word to yourself and the discipline, and this may seem like me justifying what I did by breaking my promise to myself, saying I'm going to record every day. And it probably is. You're probably right in that. However, I do believe that the value and the impact of the work that's been done is going to impact more lives long term in a positive way than me skipping, I don't know, a month and a half worth of episodes of not recording. And then to really be in that deep work and the positive impact it's going to have long term is going to far outweigh than what is currently happening. And so that being said, guys, if you're locked into a morning routine, you can't escape it and you can't function without it, you might be broken and there might be something broken there. And for you to stop and say, okay, what are my flex points and why and let that really be value-based to where what you're deciding on is going to have the largest term positive impact overall. Anyways, that's it, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.